Right now, two people are using the exact same AI tool. One of them types, "Write me a caption for Instagram," copies the answer, and moves on with their day. The other one is running a small content business out of a spare bedroom. No employees, no outsourcing. And Claude is doing the work of what used to take a 5-person team. Same app, same price, wildly different outcome. That gap has nothing to do with luck or secret access only insiders get. It comes down to 4 specific levels of using this tool, and almost everyone gets stuck on level 1 without ever realizing it. Claude has quietly become one of the more useful tools for actually running pieces of an online business, not just answering trivia questions. It can hold on to your brand voice and your files across every conversation instead of forgetting you the moment you close the tab. It can build working documents and simple tools on the spot, and it can carry out multi-step tasks with very little hand-holding once it's set up right. Most people never get near any of that. They treat it like a slightly smarter search bar, then wonder why it doesn't really help with making money. By the end of this, you'll know the 4 levels people move through with this tool, from typing random questions to running an actual income-producing workflow. This is where basically everyone starts, and where most people stay for good. You open a new chat, type 1 question, get 1 answer, and close the tab. Write me a product description. Give me 5 side hustle ideas. What's a good way to make money online in 2026? The answers you get back are technically fine and completely forgettable because you gave Claude nothing to actually work with. No audience, no tone, no example of what good looks like to you. No constraints. Picture someone selling candles on Etsy who types, "Write a listing for my lavender candle," and gets back the same flat, generic copy any other seller typing the same 6 words would get. Nothing about it sounds like their shop specifically. Ask around in any side hustle group online, and you'll hear a version of the same complaint. "I tried using AI for my shop, and it just sounds like everyone else's AI copy." That's not a flaw in the model. It's a flaw in the ask. A 1-line prompt can only ever produce a 1-line deep answer because there's nothing in it for Claude to build a specific, differentiated answer from. This level is genuinely fine for quick, throwaway tasks. Checking a fact, brainstorming a list, drafting a text to a friend. It will never carry an actual income stream on its own, and that's exactly why most people conclude AI doesn't really work for their business, when really, they never left the question box. This is the first real jump, and it's the one that changes everything downstream. Instead of typing a fresh, vague request every single time, you build one detailed prompt once. A template that includes your niche, your tone, a real example of your best work, and the exact format you want back. Then you reuse that same structure for every piece of output going forward. Go back to the candle seller. Instead of "write a listing," the template spells it out. Here's my brand voice, warm, a little playful, no corporate language. Here's my best performing listing as a reference example. Here's the exact structure I want every time. A hook line, 3 benefit-focused bullets, then a short story about the scent. Now write the next one for lavender vanilla. Every listing after that takes a fraction of the time and actually sounds like one consistent brand instead of a random generator restating the product name. The same move works for a freelancer writing Instagram captions for 5 different small businesses, or someone drafting product descriptions for a print-on-demand store with 40 different listings. Build the template once per client or per product line, and every future piece takes minutes instead of feeling like starting from zero. Someone doing this kind of content work can realistically take a task that used to eat 45 minutes and bring it down to something closer to 8, with output that's more consistent, not less. That's not a hack. It's the difference between treating Claude like a stranger every time and treating it like it actually knows the job. Here's the part almost nobody mentions. The jump from level 1 to level 2 matters more than the jump from level 3 to level 4. And most people quit right before they'd hit it. Templates are powerful, but you're still re-explaining your entire business every time you open a fresh conversation. This level fixes that using Claude's Projects feature. A dedicated workspace where you upload your files, your past work, and a set of standing instructions once, and every conversation inside that workspace automatically has access to all of it going forward. Picture a freelance writer juggling 4 clients at once. Instead of one messy chat where Claude forgets client B's tone the second you start talking about client C, they set up a separate project for each client. brand guidelines, a handful of approved past pieces, and specific rules like never use the word unlock or always end with a question, all loaded in up front. Every new request inside that project already knows the client before you type a word. No re-explaining, no digging up and repasting the brand guide for the 100th time. The same setup works for someone doing drop shipping or print on demand. One project per supplier or product line keeps sizing charts, past listings, and return policies separate, instead of everything blurring into one chat. And for someone running a small affiliate site with 3 or 4 different niches, where one project per niche keeps the research, the tone, and the past articles from bleeding into each other. Worth knowing too, this isn't locked behind some expensive plan. Projects are open on free accounts, just with a cap on how many you can run at once. So there's no real excuse to stay at level 2 once you've outgrown it. This is roughly the point where a solo operator stops feeling like they're doing 5 people's jobs badly and starts feeling like they're running an actual small team, even though it's still just them. This is where the 1,000 hours part of this actually shows up, and it's less about any single clever prompt and more about handing over entire chunks of a workflow at once. At this level, people aren't asking Claude for one piece of content and copying it out. They're setting up a research, draft, revise pipeline and stepping in mainly to approve or redirect it, or using Claude to build small working tools. A pricing calculator, a content calendar, a client intake tracker that become part of an actual product they sell, or a system that runs their business in the background. Someone running a one-person content agency might set things up so Claude pulls research on a topic, drafts the first version in the client's established voice, flags anything it's genuinely unsure about, and hands back a piece that's close to client-ready. So their own time goes toward judgment calls and relationships instead of staring at a blank page for the 4th time that day. Someone building a small digital products business might use this same level to draft, test, and refine a whole batch of templates or guides in a single sitting instead of one at a time. None of this happens by accident, and none of it happens on day 1. It's the accumulation of levels 2 and 3, stacked and automated, that makes level 4 possible. That's the real difference between someone who's tried AI once or twice and someone who's quietly restructured how their entire workflow runs around it. It's not one prompt. It's a system. If you just realized you've been stuck on level 1 this whole time, drop a comment with the number of the level you're actually at. It helps me figure out exactly what to break down next. 4 levels, same tool, completely different results. Level 1 is a question box that hands back generic, forgettable answers. Level 2 is a reusable template built around your actual voice and real examples. Level 3 is a standing workspace that remembers your clients or your brand, so you stop repeating yourself every single conversation. Level 4 is handing over entire chunks of a workflow and stepping in only where your judgment actually matters. Almost nobody fails here because the tool isn't good enough. They fail because they never leave level 1 long enough to find out what level 2 even feels like. Pick the level right above where you are right now and actually build it out this week.